Hey YouTube, it's 19 Bigfoot 85 and coming to you tonight. And first off, as you can see things a lot better in here now. Finally got some good light in here, so you know, woohoo. But this is an update to my collection. I did one back on June 4th, 08. It's been about 9 months since then, and I have gotten at least 30 new NES games and some new accessories that I didn't show in the last video. Let me get those for you. Okay, that is so cool. Okay, that was interesting. I'm watching Adult Swim, and they're talking about the new season of Adventure Brothers coming out on DVD. Watch this commercial. It looks like an old Atari box. Okay, that is pretty cool. Okay, anyway, let's dive headfirst into this. Starting off, we have the NES Max. This thing is a little difficult to use, seeing as how it doesn't have a D-pad. It has this little this little free moving disc, and it does have sort of a D-pad, but it's a circular D-pad. Get your B and A, and this one comes standard with turbo, and this thing is just a bit bigger, but at the same time it's a bit smaller than the regular.
Okay, Mrs. Robinson, let's take a look. Ew, it looks like a sad old man.
But the buttons are so close together.
I took a picture of Lois's tomb.
And have another controller.
Hey, did you guys see the game last night? Oh yeah, that offensive line is outstanding. Yeah, you should show me that picture. Hey, boys. What the hell are you guys?
Oh, dang! I'm sorry about that. I have this little thing called a Hanyu Explorer 1. Basically an NES Vantage clone. It is smaller. The joystick is shorter. And there are two buttons here that do absolutely nothing. They don't even have any contacts on the board below. Of course, you have your slow, select, start, and player. And it also has two plugs at the end of the controller wire, so that you can have two players but with one controller. Variable turbo with dials, buttons to turn it on and off, and really small buttons. Metal bottom gives it some weight. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to unravel these things with one hand. And I have the NES Advantage.
It's the best show you're not watching.
This one, I love this one because it's got pretty big buttons. It's easy to turn turbo on and off. Same with the player, start, select, slow. It has a taller joystick, and this just feels really good when you use it, especially when you use some arcade style games, shooters, Pac-Man style games, you know, old arcade games. Now on to my new games. I'm up to at least 50 now, so you know. Alright, starting off we have
There's something wrong with the house. I don't like change.
1942. It's a top-down World War II shooter. Pretty good. Except for the fact that there is except for the lack of music. Top Gun. I remember watching the review that the Angry Video Game Nerd did of this game. He said it was awful. I actually like it. It's a pretty good game. It's pretty fun. It's not as it can be pretty difficult, but it's not as hard as the nerd said it was.
Still, yes. Thank you, Peter. All right, here's another one.
Xevious, the Avenger.
Or Jenny McCarthy after a car accident. Hang on.
This is another one of those Namco arcade games. We all know Xevious.
How about this? Who would you rather start a small business with?
Top-down shooter, pretty good game. For those of you who don't know, Xbox 360 owners who may be listening to this, you can actually download this arcade game on Xbox Live. It is a very fun game. Have Ultima Exodus. It's an RPG. I'm not too happy with this one. Guess I'm sorry if you heard that, but it's Family Guy. It's an okay game. Not the best, not as good as, say, Final Fantasy, but it's okay. Ah, crap. Yeah, Star Wars. This is a pretty good game. It's an adventure type game most of the time. You play mostly as Luke Skywalker, but you do play as different characters at times.
How you feeling tonight?
Tailspin. I'm not quite sure why I got this one. It's okay. It's kind of boring.
What?
Here's another arcade game called Narc. Internet, it says no one had the guts until now. It's basically about a police officer, and he's a drug cop. It's a really violent game too. Remember, kids, just say no. One of the greatest shooters on the NES is Gradius. Says over here over 1 million sold in Japan. This is actually an arcade game at first. This is a fun game. You get a ship with different power-ups. You can pick up different little, I guess they're like little power-ups throughout the level, and the more you get, the better you can all of a sudden equip the ones you pick up, and they can turn into weapons. Oh, and that is a Konami game, but it does not contain the Konami code. However, the sequel Life Force does. Basically the same type of game. It's a lot different. The weapons are different, but it is basically the same. It's basically the same game, but it has the Konami code, so you can do the 30 lives. Got Duck Hunt. Not much to say about this one. It's of course part of the Light Gun series. Pretty fun, although I wanted to get the cartridge by itself as a collector. That's what I do. Hogan's Alley. This is a great game. For most of the time, it is like you're in a police shooting gallery. It's pretty good. I'll have to do a review on that one at some point, because it's a really fun game. Oh, and possibly the next review I'm planning on doing is going to be of this game. This is the it's an unlicensed Tengen version. It's Ms. Pac-Man. It's basically the exact same game. It's basically the exact same game as the Ms. Pac-Man on the Genesis, just in 8-bit instead of 16. Got Clax, my third unlicensed game. It's a real big cross between Tetris and Tic-Tac-Toe, and it gets really fun and really challenging. Alright, this is gonna have to become a multi-part video, so see you in a minute.